Thanks a lot again, everybody, for joining. Thanks a lot, Sergio, for joining. And for those of you who still don't know Sergio, Sergio is a co-founder of Personizely, an amazing tool which helps you to personalize the website content for each and every visitor. My name is Jakub, I'm CMO of PitchGround, and I will be host of today's webinar. And we'll be talking about underground hacks you can do with Personizely. And the first topic we'll cover today is how you can use targeting based on a visit or click history. So in many cases, visitors come on your site multiple times and they do multiple things. So you can track all these behaviors and show maybe people who are there for a fifth time different things than for people who are there for a first time. Also, second thing is that Sergio will show you how to use banners and embedded widgets. And the last thing is how you can really take the most out of the testimonials and personalize them based on a country or maybe based on an industry. So thanks a lot for joining. If you have any questions, feel free to type them below into the Zoom chat, or if you are watching on Facebook, write them in the comment section, and we'll be answering them throughout the webinar. But now, without further ado, Sergio, can you please start sharing your screen and show us the first underground hack we can do with Personizely, which is targeting based on a visit or click history?
Yep, definitely. So I'm just gonna share my screen real quick. Share. So, okay, my screen is live, I guess. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, the first thing I'm going to be talking about today is how to use visit and click history to personalize your website, and to use how you can use this information at maximum to increase your sales and conversions. So to start right away, for the first use case, I'm going to show you how you can show an offer to someone who visited the pricing page for a few times, which can mean, for example, that he is kind of thinking about buying, but maybe the price isn't right, or maybe he needs to find something else, find out something else from you. So I'm just going to create a target for this specific use case. I'm going to call it pricing stalker, let's say. And I'm going to select the history of visits filter. I'm going to choose visited more than, let's say, 4 times. So it means at least 5 times. The page pricing. And let's say in the last 3 days, let's say 5 days, we save this target. And now we are going to create a widget, which is going to show up to people who visited the pricing page for 5 times in the last 5 days. So
okay, so can you go through it once again? So before you start creating basically anything on a website or in the Personizely, you need to set up your target, right?
It's actually more about how do you understand what you started doing, because sometimes you start doing a pop-up, and only when you design it you understand who you want to see it. But
okay,
in most cases, like in my case, when I know what use case I'm going to show, it's easier to create the targeting first. So then you go to the widgets and just select the target which was already created. But you can start with a widget and just create a target after that and select it. It's just gonna require you one more step.
All right. Thanks a lot.
It's more about how you like it. So for this, I'm gonna create a cloud widget. I'm gonna choose, say, an empty one. I'm gonna make it show up, say, after he spent 4 seconds on the page. Let's say it want to get a discount, and let's create it. So in this widget, what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer this person who is really interested, we suppose, based on his behavior, but maybe something is missing behind this, behind his behind the fact that he didn't make the decision yet.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to create a call to action saying, okay, make it smaller, choose different font, and make it like this. And we're going to create a button and say, we're going to name it, so let's say 50% off your first year. So we're going to give him an incentive to sign up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really important to make use of this behavioral analysis to understand that if people are visiting your pricing too much and they're probably trying to take a decision, so giving them like a big discount for the first month or the first year or something like this would be very good for your conversions. And it's really important to get this person on board, and you can upsell later and make more money out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing I'm going to do, so it's a pretty simple widget. This one I created. I'm going to change the animation so it looks more native. I just want to showcase a little bit of the functionality so people understand what you can do in Personizely. Put it here. And in display options, I'm going to go and select the target, pricing stalker. And
pricing stalker.
Yep, that's how I called it. We're going to select to show it only on the pricing page, but it could also make sense to show it on a different page. But because it really means that this person already visited the pricing page so many times, it really doesn't matter which page he is. And of course, you can select some frequency options, so don't show it in more than once per day, or so, because if he's like really analyzing your website, you don't want him to be seeing it every few seconds popping up. So this is the first use case I want to show about how to use behavioral tracking and visit history targeting for your widgets, for your personalizations. And I'm going to go now to the second one.
So can you please quickly summarize what you just did? So you created a target that people who visited pricing page for 3 times it was?
It was more than 4 times, so at least
more than 4 times. So they will see some incentive to actually help them to pull the trigger, right?
Yep, definitely. And you can just, for this call to action, you can just specify a URL like register and specify the discount, and like on your backend or on your payment processing you just have to use this % off, and this will mean that they are getting the discount. So
okay.
You don't fool them.
Makes total sense. All right.
Yep. So
let's move to another one.
Yeah, let's move to another one. The next one is a really interesting one. It's a loyalty promotion. So sometimes you want to make your customers who bought at least once buy again, because you paid a price when you brought this first customer. Maybe you paid for the ad, maybe you paid for some influencer, maybe you paid, so the traffic is really expensive. But once you have this customer and he already bought, you want to motivate him to buy again, and you can even give him a discount because it costs you nothing. You don't have to pay for him coming to your site again. You can give him a discount and still make more money than from the first purchase. So for this, I'm going to create a target again, as I usually do. And what we're going to do is we're going to name it visitors who bought, let's say. And what we're going to do, we're going to select the history visits, and we're gonna set visited more than 0 times, so it means at least once. And here I specify the thank you page that you have on your website. So any, like most of the website, after the processing the order, you have some thank you page, which if is visited, it means that this customer like finished the purchase. So based on this, you can know that this visitor has made at least one purchase. So this is the target. So I'm going to go now and create a widget. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna create a custom one. Select the pop-up one, and let's. I think we have a loyalty.
Let's use the owl. Owl is amazing.
Okay, let's use this one. Okay, next, and it's gonna show, let's say, time spent up to 5 seconds. Next, let's say loyalty promotion. So I'm just gonna edit this one real quick. Let's say, so here it would be very nice to use a placeholder. So maybe you have this visitor has opted in some form of yours. So maybe you know his name, so you can go on and try and use his first name. Hey friend. So if he opted in previously, it's gonna be replaced by his name. If no, it's gonna just say hey friend, and we can say thanks for your loyalty. Here is a phone on your next order. So in this way, like this, put a coupon. We say, okay, and get.
So whatever you write after like the or into quotes, it will show if you don't have the data, right?
Yep. It's like a default text. It's a fallback.
Okay.
So in case sometimes it's 100% sure you have it. Sometimes you cannot be sure you have it. So it's just easier to back up. So yes, this way I created the design of the widget. I'm just going to go now to the display options, and I'm going to select the targeting again, because the topic is history type targeting. And we're going to select the visitor who bought, and we're going to we can show it only once, let's say every I don't know, maybe year or something like this. So maybe you don't want to show it. You want to show it once and never again. So this visitor is not going to abuse it or something like this. So as I said again, what I did, I created a target which targets only people who visited the thank you page. So like most of the online shops, online e-commerce store, or maybe websites which sell courses or anything else, have a thank you page where you either thank the visitor or where you upsell something, and so on and so on. And based on this criteria, I created the target, and then I created a widget which I chose to show to this target. And this widget is trying to motivate this person to buy again. So he turns from a simple customer to a loyal one. So at the point that he buys 2 times at your shop or on your website, it means that already a loyal customer. And as I said, it doesn't cost you that much, because he's actually on your website already. You don't have to pay to bring him. You don't have to pay for ads for this visitor. You don't have to pay anything for bringing him to your website.
So it's basically like for increasing the customer lifetime value after they already bought.
Yep, definitely, yes.
Amazing. All right, Sergio, we have a few questions here. Question from Steven. Are visitors' actions stored in a cookie? If so, how long does it last? What about incognito browsers?
We actually, so every visitor is tagged by a cookie, but the history, like the visit history, is stored in our databases. So we like check real quick if this visitor, let's say, did this or this click or visit in the last, let's say, 3, 5, 4 days, and it's really working like, it's really working in like cookie based, but we also have an option to identify anonymous visitors when they come from your email marketing system. So for most cases, we can detect visitors like on different devices. It really depends like on whether we have the ability to track their cookie or their source. So
amazing. Then there's another question in our Facebook Live. It's actually not a question, but I think we can quickly discuss around it. I wish I could create a target based on tags the user has on MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Gist, or for example. And I think it's actually possible, isn't it, Sergio?
So right now you can actually create a target based on subscription status in MailChimp. So we don't have the tags option yet. It's kind of hard to integrate with MailChimp on this one. We're actually looking into this, but for other email marketing systems, we are gonna be bringing it. So for ActiveCampaign and for Drip, I think we're gonna have tags by based targeting. It really depends a lot of by the fact of what the API allows us, how quick is this. So because a lot of times you want to show personalization, you don't want to have any flicker. You want to show it in like under 1 second, under like 100 milliseconds.
Got it.
So you couldn't do this. So what we do is we see what the API allows us and we try to times.
All right, guys, keep those questions coming. We'll be answering them. Anyway, another topic we want to discuss is something which really excites me because I think there's a huge potential, and it's how to capture abandoned checkouts. Because it happens that people will add something into their cart and they will just leave and forget about it. So what can we actually do to not make it happen? To don't let our purchases, our buyers, to do this.
Yeah, so as I've already discussed about like cart abandonment, today I'm going to discuss checkout abandonment and how you can do this directly on a website. So sometimes visitors don't even go to the step where they enter their email, so you can capture them through email. And this way you don't know the information, but you can still try and capture them on your website. So I'm going to show an example of how to try and recover the lost purchases on the website with a widget. So I'm going to create a target again. It's again visitor history based targeting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to the first one is history of clicks. So I'm gonna use clicked more than 0 times on the element checkout. So basically anything that is the text of your button, we track it like this. So if you have checkout here, or you have buy now, or or maybe you have checkout now on your button on your website, you have to put it down here. So this is what tells us that this visitor went to the checkout page. And then we choose visit history, and we choose the visitor visited less time than 1 time the page. Thank you. So it means that he went to the checkout, but he didn't finish his transaction yet. So he kind of like he was lost somewhere in the middle. So this is the way you could target abandoned checkout. It's pretty easy. And like the next step I'm going to do, I'm going to create a widget again. And I'm going to create a custom one. I'm going to choose a callout one, I think. I'm going to go next. And we can, whatever, I'm going to create a new one. So let's say page scroll this one just for fun. Next, let's say capturing random checkouts. So what I want to do is I want to offer this product again, and then finish your checkout. Let's change a little bit. Let's put some text and ask him. The way we could go. So we're gonna some text, so I make it look more real. So, and what I want to do here, I want to use a two buttons element, and what I want to do is to have one button said finish the order. This button is going to bring him to this checkout page, let's say. And for the second button, what I want to do, I want to say the price is too high for me. I'm gonna make it a little bigger so it's. So what I want to do here, I want to, when he clicks on the second step, I want to bring him to a different page of the widget. As I said, every widget have more steps. And I want to offer him a discount if he says that the price is too high for him. So I'm gonna change step 2. I'm gonna go to the second step. And here I'm gonna offer him the discount. So I'm gonna say, there is a 5% discount on us. I'm gonna make it like this and say, it's here, 5 off, limited, something like this. So again, I'm going. So this is like the design of the widget. So what it does, it like asks you why didn't you finish the order? Maybe he just got distracted, or maybe he actually it's not so important, but so maybe he actually thinks that it's too high for the price. I'm gonna make it show it on every pages, and I can even like make it show for fixed time until he maybe just like it's your last chance, so why not?
Yeah.
Try and pursue him until the end. Again, what I did here is I created a widget which targets people who clicked the checkout button but didn't visit the thank you page, which means that they started the checkout process but didn't finish it. And in this widget, I'm asking them to finish the order, or maybe to tell us if the price is too big, and if the price is too big, you can just offer them a little discount, and maybe this could trigger something in their mind to finish the purchase.
That's really cool. I think like this is a no-brainer for like any e-commerce site.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
And I actually don't see like many sites using it. I don't know why.
Yeah, actually, like anyone who sells something online can definitely use this. Like if you're selling courses or ebooks or clothes or anything, like any e-commerce, anything is suitable for this, and it's pretty easy to set up.
Yeah. All right. We have more questions. Diana, can we exclude specific URL for targeting? I won't exclude buyer/thank you page.
So you don't want to show this. For example, in display options, you can choose for this to not show up on buyer, thank you page. I hope this answers your question. Because and also you can choose like the format of the URL right in the targeting. So as I said, I chose the thank you page, but you can choose to not show it here, for example. So I mean it's quite flexible. So I think if you're going to have some task, we can accomplish it.
All right, another question from Steven. On the first visit to a site, is it necessary to opt in for cookies for the system to work? Is there a fallback system like IP address if they ignore that permission?
Yes, so the idea is that Personizely, in the way it works, you are basically, it records the cookie automatically, so it's actually your obligation to take care of how you handle your visitors' cookie. Do you want them to opt in for the cookies? There are like tools which handle these things, and it's Personizely works by default. If you put the code, we trace the cookie.
All right. Thanks a lot. Also, these were actually really good answers. So feel free to keep sending them. All right. Last topic we want to discuss today. No, it's actually banners and as embedded widgets. It's not last. It's a second. Yeah. All right. So banners and embedded widgets. So what can you tell us about it, Sergey?
So it actually came up as a hack because one of our customers just asked us, but can I make a banner in your system? Because I don't want to bother my developers too much to create this banner on the main page where I promote some offers or some promotions or maybe some discounts and so on and so on. And I thought, why not? I think we could do this in Personizely. Like we have all the tooling. It's not something we thought of, but in the end, it's something we could do. So we actually did it, and this customer is using it up until today. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, okay, for this one, I'm going to go to the settings, and I'm going to create a placeholder. So what are placeholders? Placeholders are places in your website's code, like in your website's HTML or content, where you can place widgets. So, for example, you can have a placeholder named main page banner, and then you are going to be able to, if you put this little piece of code on your main page where you want the banner to show up, then you can show different widgets in the same place. So it's very handy when you want to have targeted widgets, like embedded widgets, which sometimes show like you have one widget for one audience and a different widget for the other audience. So you don't want to have like an embedded code as I did previously, but you'd like to have a placeholder for that. So I'm going to go and create a widget. I'm going to create a custom one again. I'm going to select the embedded one. I'm going to select next, and I'm going to create a next like an empty embedded widget. Next, let's say banner. Create it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some promotional text real quick. Let's say hardcover. Okay. So let's say we have a book, like a bookstore, and we want to promote hardcover books at a 20% discount for in July. Then I'm going to create a shop now button. Shop now. I'm going to go here to category, cover, and we're going to select some beautiful image for bookstore. Let's say we could use this one. And we want to make it like this. Of course, want to play with the fonts already, everything. It's quite flexible. So this banner is pretty basic, but the idea is that to select it, to show it on the main page, like what I said, you have to go to position and choose a main page banner. So whatever you put in that piece of code, this banner is gonna fit in. And if you have like some dynamic width, or you could use 100% fit, or maybe if you want it to be static, you could use a custom. So this is
it's quite handy, yeah.
Yeah. So this is, yes, a basic scenario, but I'm going to show you a little trick right now. So as I said, in the same placeholder, you can have two different banners. So what I'm going to do, I want to show this banner only to desktop visitors. And for the mobile visitors, I want to offer ebooks, because when people are on mobile or maybe on an iPad, you can really promote ebooks to them, because they're probably reading on them, and it's like more appealing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to display options. I'm going to create a custom target. You see, this time I started from creating a widget, and I go to targeting the next. Let's call it desktop. So we have the desktop target. We select the device. We select desktop. We save it. So this one, let's reload. This one is only showing up on desktop. I'm just going to go back and clone this one. I'm going to call it banner mobile. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to say books at % all summer, let's say. And we would want, of course, to edit the URL, edit books, press OK. We go to the targeting. We remove the desktop because it was a clone. We create a new one. And what I'm going to do is, let's say, ebook readers. And I'm going to select device. I'm going to select tablet. You could actually like use something like operating system and iOS to target like specifically iPad visitors, but I think tablet is more than enough. Go back. We're selecting the ebook readers here. As you can see, the position here is also main page banner, but because they are excluding, like the targeting is excluding one another, they cannot show at the same time. So it's going to be either one, either other one. So on the desktop, you're going to have the ebooks, the hardcover books, and on mobile, you're going to have ebooks banner. So I think it's quite a handy way to use Personizely, so you don't have to about banners. You can really personalize it, and you can like really create something beautiful. This one I created in a few minutes, but if you spend some time, you can really create nice banners.
We have a question from Jarek. Hope I pronounce your name right. And he's asking, is script allowed in embedded widget? Reason having, for example, bots embedded in the widget.
So we don't have this yet. You can actually use HTML code, but it's not always going to work. So there are some, we are thinking of ways how we could do this, because if you just put a script in a widget, it's not going to write straight away because you just put it. You have to call it in a way. So yeah, we're thinking of a way of calling JavaScript and pop-up is or a widget or a call-out is showing up. So we are thinking about a way to make this work.
And thanks for answering. And there's another question from Steven. For frameworks which block HTML directly on pages, is there an iframe widget version?
No, we don't have an iframe widget version. Actually, it's not something we plan on doing, because iframe gives you a lot of limitations, and we really have one to be right inside your page.
All right. So if you have just any other questions, keep sending them. All right, so let's discuss the last part, which are testimonials, personalization by country or by the industry.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show an example of the testimonials that we have on our website. So testimonials are very important for improving your conversion. So you definitely have to have a few of them on your website. And the most important part is that the testimonial should speak to your visitors. So when someone visits your page, you should show him a relevant testimonial which will make him feel like he could be in place of this person, and he is the right business or the right person to buy this or that thing. So it's really important to have like relevant testimonials, and you can personalize them via Personizely. So right now I'm going to show you an example how to create to personalize testimonials based on country. But like there are examples when you if you have the URL, like the industry in your URL, and you want to only show like testimonials from small companies for people who are looking for small company solutions, and you don't want to scare them with some testimonials from big corporations, because sometimes when you see like a testimonial from Amazon on some service, you think maybe it's not for me, maybe it's too expensive, maybe I'm not in the market. And there is vice versa. So when a big company visits your website, they want to see testimonials from other big companies. They don't want to see testimonials from local businesses or small shops and stuff like this. They really want to see if this solution works for big businesses as well as for the small ones. So for this one, I'm going to create two targets. I'm gonna go with the industry example, I think. So let's make it small businesses. We'll call it target small businesses. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the query string parameter, which you could have from Google AdWords, as I showed in previous webinars. You can just use a placeholder and head here. So we're going to say like industry, let's say contains, for example, let's say like small business. I'm not sure how it would be for you, but this is just an example. So we have a small business targeting, and we have like big business, like enterprise price. So there's someone looking for a solution for small businesses, and there is someone looking for a solution for enterprise businesses. And maybe your solution works for both of them. You just don't want to scare them away. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say industry enterprise. I'll save the target, and I'm going to go and create a personalization. Let's say testimonial. Let's do this one. You're going to want to run it only on the home page in my case. We're going to go down to the testimonial, and we're going to select the text we want to personalize. We'll create a variation. And here, this variation is going to be for small business. Just like the small businesses targeting. And we're going to say something like this: to help my local shop increase sales by 20%, something like this. And you say you change name of the guy who did the, it's from York, and it's a like founder of small repair shop. We can also change the image too. Let's load an image. Okay, like this. And here we have our like testimonial for small businesses. You can actually, of course, make it look better with more text, but just an example. So I'm going to go and create a different variation for the enterprise businesses, and I call it enterprise. What I'm going to do here, I want to say, okay, it helped our holding expand, and in 20 countries, must have to for any big company. So as you can see, I changed the messaging so it's like applies more to a big company. Let's say I'm going to say John, and it's going to be like the vice president at Amazon. Okay, let's say. So right now, what we do, we have two variations of testimonials. One for small businesses and one for the big ones. Because, as I said, it's really important to have relevant testimonials. And what is a little bit hard here is the way to know where this what the size of the company. But if you set up your ads, like your Facebook ads or AdWords, to add a query to your URL so you can know how big is the business, it can help you a lot to continue with the targeting.
Amazing.
Yep.
Sergio,
So,
that's pretty much it. Is there anything else any other hack you would like to share today?
Let's keep something for tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, let's keep something for tomorrow. Speaking of that, tomorrow we are discussing 9 website personalization growth hacks to improve your conversions. So it will be even more thorough, and we'll be talking about way more hacks to improve your conversion. So don't forget to register if you already haven't registered. You can do it on PitchGround on personizely.pitchground.com and register on that page. And also, guys, this deal is ending in 12 days. Today's 4th, and it's ending on 16th. So if you still haven't grabbed your Personizely license right now, it's the best time to do it. For $59 lifetime, you'll get unlimited access to all the features, 50,000 unique impressions, 5 domains, and much more stuff than this. So don't forget to check pitchground.com/personizely. It's pitchground.com/personizely, and grab your license right now, because guys, this is a no-brainer. I mean, like, you can literally increase conversions by 2x, 3x with few hours of work. I mean, that's incredible ROI, if you ask me.
Yep.
All right, guys. So this will be also available on YouTube. This will be available on Facebook. So if you didn't get anything, if you want to listen if you want to check the tutorials again, you can do it on both of these platforms. But now I think it's slowly time to wrap it up. So I will see you tomorrow, Sergio, and all the people who are watching with the last webinar, which is 9 website personalization growth hacks to grow your business. So thanks a lot for joining.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.